Welcome to the Community Difference Wylie, Season 2, hosted by Jacki Tobar and Paul Fisher. And powered by the Difference Media LLC. Today's show is co-hosted by Andrea Kincanon with the Kincanon Agency and Scott Williams with Fire and Water Restoration Plus. The Community Difference Wylie was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Wylie starts now.
Well, good morning, Wylie. Welcome to the Community Difference Wylie. We are a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I am your host, Tammy Escobedo, and I'm filling in today for the super bad all day long, Jacki Tobar. I am a senior sales director in the beauty industry, promoting skincare and makeup while focusing on supporting others to build sustaining businesses and a lifestyle of confidence. I am ecstatic to be here with the Wylie Show today. So today's show promises excitement as we delve deeper into our business topic. So for September, we are going to explore effective top-of-mind strategies, how to build a relevant, iconic brand without being salesy and self-promoting. We have some special guests today, and to help me introduce this topic, first I want to bring in my co-hosts. First, Scott Johnson. Welcome, Scott Johnson. He's with Fire Boss Realty. Scott Johnson is his 37-year fire captain. He leads Fire Boss Realty with a relational approach. He's also a Dave Ramsey trained financial coach and has been teaching biblical financial principles for over 20 years. Welcome, Scott. Tell us what you're excited about today.
You know, I cleaned my patio up yesterday and the evenings have gotten cooler. So I spent some time out there on the patio last night.
Nice. So maybe you're excited to be here today because you get to rest for a second in your chair and enjoy us and conversation.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, well, welcome, Scott. We're glad that you're here. And our second co-host, Andrea Kincanon with the Kincanon Agency. Andrea is the owner of the agency and offers tailored insurance solutions for families and businesses. Her agency is dedicated to protecting your assets and securing your future. So, Andrea, welcome. What are you most excited about today?
Hey, it is a beautiful, beautiful day today.
Yes.
Just cool weather is what I'm excited about.
Right. I wouldn't say it's cold, but it's definitely cooler, right?
Yes, 100%. Hopefully the heat won't come back.
Well, I think your wish is not granted because I think it's supposed to be 90 degrees again coming up. Okay. Well, let's introduce our guests. I'm very excited to have Ashley Carrero, Everyday Hero CPR. She is a guest of Scott. Ashley and Francisco own Everyday Hero CPR in Murphy, Texas. They offer accessible CPR and first aid training to empower the community, combining Ashley's teaching background and Francisco's experience as a firefighter and paramedic. We are excited to have you here, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Why are you excited to be here?
Well, just to be here. I mean, we've never gotten to do a podcast. We are always in front of students teaching out in the community. And so to get to spread the word and then hear about the great things that are going on in Wylie is really exciting.
Awesome. Scott, tell us about your friend.
Oh, she's kind of a little powerhouse. When I first heard her story, I mean, a lot of people got excited about J.D. Vance and his story. Ashley has got a great story that I think is better than J.D. Vance.
Nice. I love to hear that. That's amazing. Okay, well, we're excited to hear from you today, Ashley and Scott. Thank you for inviting her on. Our second guest is Linda Milton with Best Buddies. She is Andrea's guest today, and Linda represents Best Buddies Partners, a nonprofit dedicated to fostering friendships and opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, promoting inclusion and empowerment. So welcome, Linda. What are you most excited about today?
Thank you so very much. I'm excited to be on this podcast. I'm just very, very grateful. Starting to create change at the community level, that's where we need to start. So being able to especially be part of the Wylie community difference is terrific. We've got some wonderful chapters, one of our strongest chapters at Wylie High School. So we're excited to be here. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Okay, Andrea, tell us about your guest and how did you meet her?
So I actually met her through Jacki, and I am just really excited to learn more about you, Linda, and more about Best Buddies and how we can, help and, build up the Best Buddies organization.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we are getting ready to take a break. We're going to have a quick break. We're going to come back and hear some wonderful things going on in our community. Welcome to our guests and welcome to the show. See you in just a minute.
The Community Difference Wylie is made possible by Vanessa Cole, owner of The Way Leadership, Janice Greenlee with Green Root Capital, Andrea Kincanon with the Kincanon Agency, Scott Johnson with Fireboss Realty, Jacki Tobar with proven national title, Give Me One and I'll Earn the Rest. The Community Difference Wylie, together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up, Wylie?
Wow, that was interesting, wasn't it? I love
good.
that. What's up, Wylie? Okay, Scott, take it away. Let's go.
Well, I'd kind of like to talk first about Hope Under the Stars. Hope's Gate is Patty Bowman started Hope's Gate back, I don't know, probably almost 20 years ago. We went to church with her. She went to India, but people were so impoverished. She started like saying, hey, can y'all collect some jewelry making supplies? And she helped people start making jewelry. And over the years, it has evolved to where it's kind of a big deal. They've got a store in downtown Wylie. They've got products that are made all over the world, and the proceeds go to fund the people that actually made the products. But their gala is Hope Under the Stars. It'll be taking place October 5th in Old City Park, downtown Wylie. And I know you say Old City Park for a gala. They transform it into like this magical wonderland. There'll be food from local chefs. There's a 5-course meal. There's raffle prizes. There's music. There's an art auction. And Hope's Gate is about bringing hope for orphans, victims of human trafficking, and the world's most vulnerable. So we bought tickets, we bought extra tickets and gave them to some friends that are going to go with us. So if you're interested in going to the gala, hopesgate.org, you can click on the events tab and you can get your tickets there. It's a great night and the food is awesome and the people are a lot of fun to hang out with.
That sounds amazing. That almost sounds like, it makes me think of Central Park in Manhattan and New York City in the Christmas, when you talk about the lights and transforming the park.
Yeah, they do. They put lights up and it's a big event. It's a big deal. Awesome.
What else you got?
Well, this one it's kind of amazing to me. It's the South Fork experience at South Fork Ranch. It's October 25th to 27th. And when I first saw it, I actually had to go do the research to find out. The final episode of Dallas was May 3rd, 1991.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that long ago.
That show ran from 78 to 91. It had 14 seasons. It ended 33 years ago.
Wow.
But
I love that show.
South Fork Ranch is just right down the street from us. And we go by it all the time. And it is very seldom I go by. There's not somebody out front taking a picture at the gate of South Fork Ranch.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I saw the South Fork experience, I went, this show hasn't been on in 33 years. A large portion of the adult population never saw it when it was first run.
Wow.
But they're still running the South Fork experience. You can go out there and meet Patrick Duffy and Linda Gray, Charlene Tilton. You're not going to meet JR. He died about 10 years ago. But it's kind of amazing to me. SouthForkExperience.com is where the tickets are. They've got a whole weekend planned. It's got a concert on Friday night, Saturday. They got daily passes. You can go do all the stuff they got all day Saturday. There's a barbecue Saturday night. There's a brunch with the cast on Sunday morning. There's even VIP experiences for $2,000 if you want to spend $2,000 and go do all of it and do the VIP experience. I saw this thing and I went, that's amazing that this thing ended 33 years ago, but they can still do this with it.
Right?
Have y'all even seen the show?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. I remember whenever I was a kid, my mom really liked the show. So if I was good up until I think it was either Thursday night, I got to stay up late and watch Dallas and Dynasty with her.
Yeah, Dynasty was the other one.
Yes.
I didn't see it, but
I watched it all the time. It was so fun. It was so good.
Yes.
When I told my family I was saying when we told our family we were moving out to the Wylie Murphy area, they were like, "Did you know that ranch is out there?" Nope, had no clue.
No.
Well, now you know your age and our age and the difference, I guess.
So the last weekend in October, you can go out to South Fork Ranch and go hang out with the people that were on the show.
So I wonder why they're doing that right now, 33 years. What's the significance of doing something with the cast? Do we know?
I don't know. They've been doing stuff at South Fork Ranch with the Dallas brand, and I've been to the house. I've been on the tour. It's not the same house that's in the show. Front of it is the show. Interior house was a soundstage in LA.
All right.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. So
back in the day when I lived in Los Angeles, I was actually an agent for composers for film and television. And I'm blanking right now on the name of the person who wrote that theme, but like retired 75 times over with the royalties made off of that theme, just because it was so iconic.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
But
all right.
And then I guess my last one that I've got right now is the Difference Business Development Alliance meeting, September 26th at Urban Rio in Plano. And that's a free networking and business development organization, the Business Development Alliance. And what we're doing at that meeting is based on the work Lyndon Wilson put into the book that he's written. And this group isn't your average business card exchange. Instead, we get into the things that we kind of talk about on the show, on the podcasts, where, what are the things that you need to do to make your business thrive? And we get into the details of the topics that we've been talking about and helping business people make a transition from being average and ordinary to making a difference in their community and in their business. So that's at 4:00, September 26th at Urban Rio. And if you're stressed out after the meeting because you're not doing all of those things, or if you just want to relax a little bit, there's a happy hour right across the street at Voodoo Brewery. The Community Difference Plano show does their happy hour across the street at Voodoo. And if you mention Community Difference Plano, you get 20% off your first beer over there. So
nice.
Nice.
Right after the Business Development Alliance, you can step across the street and meet some more people that are doing the same thing.
Awesome. That's amazing. Andrea, what do you have for us today? Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, so it is time almost time, I would say, for the Texas State Fair. That starts on September 27th. So expect all the kiddos to come home with their free tickets and then, go to the bank because you can enjoy all the rides and the free food, or not free food, but all the fried food. So that'll be a lot of fun. I know that my kids love going every year and then, tasting all the food and riding the rides. So that'll be fun. That starts on September 27th. And then also on November 1st, they have the 15th annual Coventry Reserve Golf Tournament. I know this is just an amazing nonprofit in Wylie. It's for people or adults with special needs. And they're looking for business sponsors. And then also, if you love golf, go and support that and play some golf for a wonderful, wonderful cause. And then one other thing, we at my office, we are collecting food for 5 Loaves. So if you have anything, you can bring it by our office and we'll make sure that it gets to them. And basically it is to help fight food insecurity in our local area. So Saxe, Wylie, Murphy, kind of all the places there. We're really excited to help out there. We're right off of 544, kind of right by La Flor Mexican food. And then Linda, I know that you have some really cool stuff coming up.
It's wonderful because as you were all talking about the things that are happening, it reminds me, I'm like, oh yes, we're doing this. So first and foremost, this Saturday night, we are actually partnering with Clyde Warren Park for movies in the dark, movies at the park. They're showing the Academy Award-winning movie called Coda about the family that is deaf and their one child that is hearing, and it's a really wonderful movie. So if you're not
that
doing
is
anything,
such a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. That's a great opportunity to go.
Yeah, and it's great fun and it's free. So come down to Clyde Warren Park on Saturday night.
I got a little man misty a couple times watching that show.
Man misty. I like that, Scott. Man misty.
And then talking about the State Fair of Texas, we actually have a special day that we're doing in partnership with an organization called Johnny and Friends, and it's a disability-friendly day at the park on October 2nd from 10 a.m. to 1:30. So they'll have different sensory-friendly activities throughout the park or throughout the fair, and then we're also looking for volunteers to come help with that day. So we'll tell you more about that. And then a week from yesterday, next Wednesday, we're doing Best Buddies at Texas Rangers Park. So at the ball game. So if you want to come to that, we can share that information. And then looking forward to November 22nd is our big fall fundraiser, our Champion of the Year Gala. It's a disco theme because we've been around for 35 years. We're celebrating our 35th anniversary this year. So it's Studio 89. So it'll be great fun on November 22nd at in the Design District, a place called On the Levee. So
that sounds fun.
Oh my gosh, that's my birthday and it's a big one this year. So I should come to that just to celebrate disco style.
Yes.
On a big birthday for a party that nobody else in my family is going to plan.
We got you covered, Tammy.
That sounds fun. Let's do that. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Go back to what you were doing at Texas Rangers. Can you explain? Tell me what that's about.
So the Texas Rangers are such a wonderful organization and they love to support nonprofits. And so they've given us 60 tickets. And so we're getting folks together to go out and spend that special evening together. So a lot of our participants and we have an adult friendship program. And so that's a great opportunity for our friendship pairs to go out and have a night together. So that's at Texas Rangers. But you can come out just to have fun that night as well.
That's awesome. That sounds really fun. I have the honor of knowing one of the pitchers of the Texas Rangers.
Ooh.
I know. And so his mom is a sales director with me. She'll be a national sales director very soon, and his mother-in-law. And so they're just great. They're just a great team. They just have big hearts for people. Yeah,
they do.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's keep going. Anything else that you have, Linda?
I'm sure I do, but I think that's enough for the moment.
Well, you can feel free to jump in anytime. That'll be great. We have just a few more minutes, so we want to share just a few more things that are going on in the community. I know, Jacki, I'm going to try to do you well and talk about the construction. And so we're going to leave it up to Ashley and give us a construction update, a little bit about what's going on in Wylie. I know there's the Cooper Plaza seems to be a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah, so I was looking at that one earlier because it's right down the street from us. It's 13 acres and they're working on just kind of getting everything set up for it right now. So the first team involved is TxDOT, which we're all familiar with TxDOT. Yes, they control our lives in some way, shape, or form because we all get to commute. So they're working on widening the road right there and then making sure that the infrastructure is sound so that they can officially start building. TxDOT, last I saw, they said they would be in there, expected to finish everything in 60 to 90 days.
And I'm sure that'll happen.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll happen just right on time. Texas won't decide to have like a torrential downpour for a week and set things back. It'll be great.
Yeah.
So what do you think about all these construction projects that they have worked out these deals where if we get it done ahead of time, we're going to pay you back X amount of dollars? What? Maybe we need to do that for these little community projects.
It works though. Irving just built a fire station, and the construction company actually got the first fire station I've ever seen built in 37 years was done on time.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it was done because they got a bonus if they did it on time.
There you go. Kind of like the high five. Same, right? That's amazing. Okay. Well, thank you for that. All right. You know, Jacki also provided me information about this weekend. The Wylie Police Department, the Wylie Fire Rescue are putting together a new coat program. It's a new coat drive where they're going to provide a light breakfast. I understand. I think even breakfast tacos. Breakfast tacos. It's going to be at the Public Safety Building off of Highway 78. Anybody know anything about that or want to, slightly used, right? Slightly used or new coats. Yeah.
I don't know about that one, but I know Murphy's got one coming, an open house coming up too, or Murphy Fire.
Yeah, Murphy Fire's got their open house. I think it's exactly 1 month from today. So October 12th. And that one's open for the whole community to go to. They're going to do like firehouse tours. And if you've never been to the Murphy Fire Station, we're a fire family, but not for Murphy, but they have a fire pole, which is very rare. They don't put those in a lot of stations anymore. They won't let the kids go down it, but they can sure look. And they're going to have like bounce houses, Sparky the fire dog.
Oh, fun.
They're going to talk about like live vehicle extractions, free hot dogs, chips, and water. So if you're looking for a fun event to take the family to, and me personally, I'm a fire wife. I think it's always a good idea to let kids start to feel comfortable around firefighters and see the gear and stuff, because sometimes, no offense, Scott, firefighter, when y'all are out in the wild and you've got on all that bunker gear, it can be a little intimidating, especially for those young people.
We're big, scary guys.
You are. So bring them to the fun stuff so they get to know that those big, scary guys are actually really cool, helpful people.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just attended a July 4th parade in the area. I also am a fire wife. And it's so fun to see the little kids around them and then getting comfortable around the equipment and all the apparatus and, touching the hose and seeing all the things. So that in an emergency, it does make a huge difference.
Yeah. And I was going to throw in, so we are a local CPR company, and we actually have a class coming up on this Sunday at 10 a.m. So if anybody is looking to get certified, whether they're voluntold or volunteering to, we've got a couple of spaces left open, but it's a great class. I'll be teaching it personally. And so come out, join us. And it's just a great skill. If you've never taken a CPR class, come. You'll have a good time. It's only about 2.5 hours. And I leave people feeling empowered. Like,
is it at the office?
It is at the office in Murphy. So we're just in between Country Burger and Lowe's. We're inside of Keller Williams. We get to lease with them, but you leave feeling like you can take on the world, and you get to save lives with these bad boys, because you learn how to save a life with just 2 hands, which when you put it that way, it's really powerful.
100%. Yes. You're right by me, Ashley.
When you said you were down the street from the floor, I was like, I know that shrimp soup. It's so good.
Not know that. Awesome.
That's awesome. Okay, well, we have just a couple more minutes. I want to go Harvey, one of our wonderful business owners in Wylie area that I love so much. He does commercial cleaning. He is reminding us about Murder Mystery Night at the library this Friday night. That sounds fun.
Yes, that is going to be fun. I know Jacki will be there, so it sounds like a really good time.
It's called Murder at the Library. Not officially, but that's, I think, the better name.
That sounds like a game of Clue.
Yes. It is actually an adult live game of Clue.
Yes.
How often does that happen? How often do they do that?
I'm not sure how often they do it, but it is this Friday night.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of it before, but I wish my daughter has a soccer event, but if not, I would definitely be there because it sounds like fun. I used to love Clue when I was a kid.
And they planned it at the exact same time that the rec center just across the sidewalk is having a parents' night out.
Oh, fun.
So if you've got kids, you can take them to the parents' night out, go across the street, solve the murder, and then go pick your kids up.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant
Yes,
planning.
brilliant. I love that. Okay, one more thing, and we're going to cut to commercial, and that is September the 20th. We have the 2024 Beanbag Bash that's being hosted by the Wylie East Athletic Booster Club, hosting a cornhole tournament. Don't miss that. Go online, get your information, and be there on September 20th. We're going to go to commercial, and we're going to come right back for our next segment.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
Buying a home? It should be an exciting time, not a stressful one. At Proven National Title, we understand that buyers want fast, reliable, transparent, seamless, convenient title and closing services. Therefore, our services are not limited to our office or yours. Let Jacki Tobar and all the fine folks at Proven National Title help make your dream of homeownership a reality. Call us today for a smooth and stress-free closing. Contact us at 972-752-8540 or email at jacki.tobar@provennationaltitle.com. Proven National Title. Give me one and I'll earn the rest.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
There we all are.
We're back.
All right.
Yeah.
We're back. We're going to talk about a fabulous topic today. I love having new topics, effective top of mind strategies, how to build a relevant, iconic brand without being salesy and self-promoting. Don't we hate those people who are so pushy and salesy? Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what are you doing in the community, and what does your life and your business look like, and what are some ideas that you have that we can not be salesy and not self-promoting and just have a great time building? Well, I don't care who goes first.
I'm going to jump in there. So I love to make our content like relative to people and their current lives. And so it's something that we have started in our business. I went to a conference about a year ago, got to speak with some manufacturers of our CPR mannequins, and I was asking about female mannequins. And they were like, well, yeah, I mean, they're in the works. And I said, they need to be in the works sooner than later because females need CPR too. So just throwing some stats out there for you guys. Females are less likely to receive bystander CPR from when they're out if they go into cardiac arrest. And it's because females have different anatomy. People are scared of it. They don't know what to do. They're scared.
Because
What
we
if I
don't want to
see
go to
it?
jail.
I get it, but I need CPR too, and so does Amy. So I'm gonna show y'all. We just recently got some new mannequins. Where's my girl? Here she is. So we recently got some new mannequins, y'all. Isn't she beautiful? So I think just making it relative to people is super important, because when I start talking to people, you'll be at the park. Oh, what do you do for a living? This is it. And they're like, oh, I had no idea as a mom that I'm more likely to die from cardiac arrest simply because my anatomy is just a little bit different. So that's been our big talking point lately, is women need CPR too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Scott knows that's what he practically did for a living for how many years?
Yeah, a long time, 37.
And sometimes I'm a fire wife, and I think, oh, I don't need to know how to do that. Jamie will handle it. If anything comes up, it'll be fine. Until I'm babysitting my grandbabies by myself, and one of them starts choking on a piece of chicken, and I think, oh, maybe I should know some of that.
Yeah. Or what if something happens to Jamie? Who's going to help him?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Surely nothing's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
At one point in time, I owned a business I taught CPR and first aid too. I was in that business, and the storytelling that you can do that can make it more relevant. And even in marketing, when I would just be talking to people about the business, I wouldn't even have to talk about the business. I would just go into telling a story about a run, something that we were on, some place that we had been, some first aid that we had done, a lot of stuff that we do, because almost all of our guys are paramedics. But the stuff we do, a lot of it is very basic, and any one of you can do it. It's not, they try to make us out to be superheroes. We're just guys, and we show up when we're called, and we try to make things better. But you get a lot of stories, and I like the storytelling aspect of promoting the business that way.
Yeah, I think one of the most powerful stories that Francisco, who's at home with our sick kid today, because that's what happens when you own a small business, your kids get sick, but he went on a call one time and somebody had eaten a child had eaten the entire container of gummy vitamins, because gummy vitamins. And the people were like, well, what do you do for that? Because that is scary. And they said, well, they called 911. We showed up and we called poison control, because we weren't 100% sure what to do right then. And so, that's part of it.
It is part of it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I love leveraging that storytelling, really, on how to build your business, because what you do, you're telling these stories, talking to people, and they realize, oh, I should probably know how to do that, right? I should probably. So leveraging the storytelling is so important. What about community, engagement? What are we doing in our communities to really sell our business without being salesy? Anybody have a point that you'd like to share that might be important to you or has worked for you?
I think I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andrea.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, when we talk about best buddies, we're a 35-year-old organization, and we're very, very well known in Massachusetts, because we were founded by Anthony Kennedy Shriver. So it's part of that Kennedy legacy of helping people with disabilities. The ADA was passed during their era and everything. So, but here in Texas, we're not always as well known, right? So sometimes people think we're a dog rescue, asking us about best buddies. And so one of the things that we talk about is we could be the expert, right? So when there's conversations about disabilities, we can speak to that. So it's not so much as, here I am, here's what I do, but being able to address questions. And, one of the big things is, everybody is very, very, and rightfully so, focused on diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI. but we have to add the A to that, accessibility, because people with disabilities make up 15% of any given population. And so we are a huge minority. And there are many people who are fearful to disclose their disabilities at work. So these are things that we can do to bring awareness. So if we just simply change that from DEI to DEI and A, that's helpful. And then also, be the expert. When October comes up, which is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, can you say that? National Disability Employment Awareness Month, NDEAM. That's a great time to be able to talk about disabilities in the workplace and accessibility in the workplace and all that good stuff. So that's another thought about.
That's awesome. That's really good. Think about, I keep interrupting you, Andrea. Go.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, like educating people about not necessarily like your business, but how you can provide value to them, in insurance or, like I know we have a lot of realtors in the community and things of that nature, providing that value of what do you need to know for if you're a first-time home buyer or not a first-time home buyer. As far as insurance, I mean, there's so many different types of insurance. What do you need to know? Most people don't know a lot about it. So just providing that education for them, and then your business stays, top of mind for them also. So,
Tammy, I've got a question for everybody real quick.
Yeah.
How do each of you and your business market yourself in a way without advertising and in a way that doesn't try to sell what you offer? How would you get people in your community to fall in love with you as a person if you could never mention your business?
Awesome. Great question, Linda.
Claiming personality.
Andrea, you're right. You're exactly right. But how do you market that? That's where we fail. Most people, either in their top of mind strategy, are working on education, right? Informing. Nothing wrong with that. That's a great tactic. They're working on a marketing strategy, a sales strategy, or an advertising strategy. That's how we stay top of mind. This is who I am. I mean, this is what I do, not who I am. So if you had to market, if someone said, here's $100,000 to build your business, but you can't build your business over the next year, how would you do it?
I mean, I think staying, in the community and relevant on social media. I know for me, I do use education a lot and kind of going back, but storytelling, putting people in like the moment of what could possibly happen helps sell my business. So, I mean, I know that I use those a lot and giving back to the community. So, but again, I think that has to do a lot with just being in the community and being involved and, letting people know you and know who you are as a person, not just your business.
So let me ask you this: if you took the same $100,000 that you're going to use, that was given to you to use to promote your business or grow your business, let's just say that, over the next year, and you used it to promote every other business in your community, how would that impact you and your reputation?
I mean, I think that you would be known as, a giver, and people are going to be more willing to come back to you because you are so giving.
And that goes to community engagement.
Right.
If you're engaged in the community and other people are seeing what you're doing in the community, if you're using that money, like you said, to build other businesses. I talk to people all the time about what they do so that when it comes about time because I get people all the time in real estate, they say, hey, I need a plumber, or I need an interior designer, or I need you name the bazillion things that people need if you own a home. They come to me and I make sure that I refer that business out to somebody that I trust, that I know is going to do them a great job.
Yep.
But, we don't get anything for that except really, really great service for our clients, because the people that we're sending that business to, they're helping us build our business, and they want to make sure they do a great job so that we keep doing that. And it's a reciprocal thing. It's it's a cooperative. It's not even really spoken cooperative agreement, but it kind of is, because the people that I do business with, I refer regularly, and
100%.
So if you're helping other people build their business, they'll help you too.
100%.
Harvey had a great comment. He said, building relationships. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yes.
So getting to know you in the industry, getting to know you in the community. What are you doing to get involved? Nathan had a great question. How would you advise other professionals or yourself to balance personal branding with authentic connection, ensuring your influence grows organically rather than overt self-promotion? In my prior corporate life, I owned a managed care company. I hired nurses and vocational counselors. And one of the things I loved was being able to teach adjusters, teach cities, states. I did a lot of public entity work, but teaching them how to utilize services effectively. When you teach them and you give them something that's value added, that's free, when there's a need, they're going to remember you.
Yeah, we get the opportunity to teach some of the Girl Scouts because I'm a former educator and I miss being in the classroom sometimes. And so being able to work with those young people, it's really powerful to get to be with them. And so I'll go teach, very discounted, cover the cost of my materials classes to those Girl Scouts. But then when their parent turns out to be a doctor and needs CPR for their job, they're like, oh, Ashley was so kind. She was so professional. So it's building that relationship, being involved with our community. We have gotten tons of referrals from that.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So, Scott, what do you do in your business? I know in my business, I gift gifts to realtors to put in closing baskets when they close on homes or things like that. How does that benefit the community just in general? Like, who do you know? I think about Tom's, the shoe company, right?
Yeah.
Tom's, every time someone buys a pair of shoes, they donate another pair of shoes. Right? So people are going to go buy Tom's because they know somebody's going to benefit from that purchase.
And I go back to what Harvey was talking about, relationships. I mean, our tagline is life is relationships and everything else is details. So
I love that.
What we do is we reach out and we build relationships. We helped Ashley and Francisco with their house.
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
But we build relationships with people. We build relationships with the various contractors. We build relationships with business people. That if you have the relationships built, you don't have to promote yourself. Other people will go ahead and promote you. And those are the best referrals anyway. Those are the best. And it's a collaboration, because I'm going to send people to your restaurant in downtown Rockwall because you run a great restaurant in downtown Rockwall and some people don't know about it. So when I get the opportunity, I'm gonna send them there. And if there's a business in Wylie, Murphy, we're gonna refer people there because of the relationships that we've got with them.
Right.
Well, because you trust them and you are comfortable, giving your clients other people, the people that you're referring out, because you trust those people that they're going to provide your clients with amazing service.
And then when it comes,
you're not. No, go ahead.
When
I was just going to say you're not going to.
I'm going to do it again. No, you go.
Go ahead.
You go.
I was just going to say, because you're not going to refer out people that you don't trust, because then your clients aren't going to trust you.
Right.
So whenever you build, brand ambassadors, that, like you said, that does all of the marketing for you, and you don't have to promote yourself as much.
And then, like the Tom's thing you were talking about, a lot of the resources, they get deployed back out to different places. Like we're doing some stuff with the school district. We're doing some stuff with like Hope's Gate and other nonprofit organizations that a lot of times we don't promote that. That doesn't ever end up in any kind of a marketing program.
Right.
But you be a good person and good things come back your way.
Yes, 100%.
I agree.
Well, speaking as a nonprofit, I think, what's really important to everyone these days, it really has changed where, you used to, a nonprofit could get sponsorship dollars from a corporation. And that the one and done, here's your money, thank you very much, put our logo on, doesn't work anymore. People actually choose their jobs because of the vision of that company and what their corporate social responsibility pillars are, and do they give back, and they want more. They want their employees to volunteer, and they will actually give dollars to, for volunteer hour matches and things like that, rather than giving the sponsorships. And so I think that, when you talk about corporate social responsibility, it really is, Scott, as you say, a relationship. It has to be a partnership, or it doesn't work. So, and making people, things like 85% of people with disabilities are unemployed. That's just a simple concept. And so when you talk to a corporation and you can help share that information, and then they care about that, and then you work back and forth together because you're doing it as a partnership.
That's awesome, Linda. Thank you so much. As we wrap up, because we've got like 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds, but as we wrap up, just let me finish this with how to build businesses, how to not be salesy and pushy. And Diane Castle, love you, Diane. Thank you for watching our show today. She posted in our chat, strategic partners will be your cheerleaders. Yes. And that's the best thing to do. Build relationships, love on people, help others, and they will be your best resource. All right, let's go to commercial. And we're going to come back for our next segment.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Enjoy DFW's most fun, affordable night out and catch the Rough Riders, the AA affiliate of the Rangers, at beautiful Riders Field in Frisco. Get your tickets at ridersbaseball.com. The Frisco Rough Riders, the future stars of your Texas Rangers.
Are you or someone you know pregnant or planning to conceive? Caitlin Smith is both a certified childbirth doula and instructor offering childbirth classes to couples wanting an unmedicated, physiological birth outside of the hospital setting. Caitlin has served the local community since 2021 and specializes in working closely with midwives, all while best supporting a mother's physical body, her partner, and the birth environment. You can contact Caitlin through Instagram at thismamadoula or email her at caitlinsmithdoula@gmail.com to learn more about childbirth classes or her doula services.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111.
Now back to the show.
And now we're online.
All right, welcome back. We want a deep dive now. Were y'all talking behind the scenes? Okay, we're going to deep dive into some new things. Andrea, we're going to start with you and your guest. Talk to us. Tell us what you want to deep dive into.
Yeah, I mean, my question for you, Miss Linda, would be, what is the most rewarding part? I hate saying job, but like, what's the most rewarding part of what you do? And then, on the opposing side, what's the most challenging part?
Thank you for that. The most rewarding part of my job is the job. When I speak to people about our company, our organization, and what we do, and I share our pillars, and I talk about everything, and then I get to a stopping point, and I inevitably say, I love my job. It just really being able to champion this population and to work. I mean, these people are all my friends, and people get to learn their abilities rather than their disabilities. And that's just what excites me, is being able to recognize that. So that's the most wonderful and rewarding part, and seeing the success when someone gets a job. I have a little tiny video snip of someone says, they liked me, they really liked me, they offered me it on the spot, they're going to hire me, and they get so excited. And this was someone who wanted to work at a child care facility, and she's been there 3 years now and has been promoted, and it's just amazing. So that's the most challenging is the flip part of that, which is, people don't understand the disability world, intellectual and developmental disabilities. And, we're talking a lot about branding here and awareness, and our whole mission is about inclusion. Our vision is to put ourselves out of business to where people with disabilities are so known and understood and integrated into our society that they don't need us. And so when when we have opportunities where I'm losing my total train of thought here because I got all jazzed up about it. But yes, so just being able to talk about that and get people to understand that we need to be integrated into the world and into working side by side with people. And you don't have to be afraid. Oh, branding, that's what I was talking about. So being able to promote that in a visual or something, inevitably people will go to someone with Down syndrome because that's very visible. Someone in a wheelchair, right? When oftentimes disability, you're automatically in a wheelchair. But so many people have invisible disabilities. So how do you do that without being exclusionary? If our mission is to be inclusive, how do you do that without being exclusionary? So those are some of my challenges.
I love that. You can definitely see and hear the passion and the excitement. So that's awesome. And I think, that kind of goes back, not to go back to the topic, but educating people on, like the disabilities and things of that nature. So that way, you can be more, inclusive and helpful and all of that. So I think that's really cool.
Awesome. Linda, I wondered how do you feel about being in the Wylie community? What are the good things about, what do you love most about being in the Wylie community?
My first job in the nonprofit world was with eQuest, Therapeutic Horsemanship. So I drove from Sunnyvale to Wylie every single day. And I loved the growth of Wylie. I loved everything about Wylie, just because people do care so much about the social services and what all the communities need, whether it's the big cat rescue or whether In Sync Exotics, that's the name, or all the you talk about the Hope Store and things like that. So I think that's one of the exciting things about Wylie and the growth and the education system. Again, being in Sunnyvale, my home is in Sunnyvale, but the great competition between the arts communities, right? Wylie has amazing arts, and so I often, like, could I live in Wylie? So I love that.
Anybody can.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Scott.
Well, I was going to ask Ashley, because I mentioned when I was introducing her about her origin story, because it is pretty amazing. How does that impact the business that you got into and how you conduct your business? I don't know if you want to share part of that story or not, but.
Well, I'm a former educator. Yeah, so I'm a former educator. My husband's a paramedic firefighter, but we started our business because one day in class, they gave me a student who had an impairment, and I didn't know how to handle it. The nurse was out that day. And so what did I do? I called my husband, and he was like, Ashley, this kid's diabetic. He needs sugar. Okay, how do I do that? It was a moment of panic, really. And so that was kind of how all of our business started to come to life. And he was going through paramedic school, and he was like, you're a teacher and don't know CPR. It was mind boggling to him. And so that's kind of how we got into it. And we, started the business with like, we're going to teach teachers. We're going to teach teachers. And I can tell you that August is always our busiest month, because do you know who I get to teach? Teachers. And it's super powerful. And it's just super powerful to be in our community and to go places and you'll see people that you've taught CPR to, or even more so. We have a client that has come to us 3 times. So you ideally take a course every 2 years, but he actually was in the newspaper in Wylie a couple years back because he went into sudden cardiac arrest, and he's still alive because he still takes our classes. And it's because his family knew CPR and they knew what to do. And he and his sister come back every 2 years and they come take the class with us. And it's so empowering to have that, to be able to see him and he understands the value in it. And honestly, like that relationship we've built with him, that he trusts us to give his family that education. It's really great. So
what's your favorite thing about the Wylie community?
Gosh, I love it. No, I love that it's a small community, but yet it's so big at the same time. There's always something going on. So you can go out anywhere I go in Wylie or Murphy. I feel like I run into somebody I know. My husband's like, how do you know them? Well, their kid, or, we played baseball together. The small town feel, but having everything that you could possibly need. Like all the new stores that are coming up, all the events, no offense to Dallas. I don't even go to Dallas anymore. Why do I need Dallas anymore? Right?
I feel like after Scott's introduction to you and about you, that we need to know a little known fact about you that listeners would really find interesting.
Oh gosh, I'm really not that interesting. No, I think
you probably are.
Little known fact. Well, I taught preschool. And so I think that that's a pretty interesting thing, because when people hear that, they're like, you dealt with 4-year-olds all day long? Yeah, 10 of them. And I loved it. No, I love to make messes. I guess that'll be a fun fact. As clean as I try and keep our house, you know that you're having a good time if it's a little bit messy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, before we take our last break, I do want to ask anybody who wants to answer, let's just go through. What is your vision for the business development in Wylie, and what are the key industries or areas that you want to attract to where you are? Look at Scott. He's got that grin on his face like, ooh.
I'm gonna let others jump in. Sometimes I try to take too much space.
No, go for it. Well,
Scott.
I'm excited.
I think the business environment in Wylie is awesome. It's active. There's a lot of relationship building that goes on. There's a lot of things happening in the background all the time.
Yeah.
We just did the rodeo, which was huge. I mean, and a lot of people don't even know the Wylie rodeo exists, but it's a big deal. It's championship rodeo every year. There's places opening up. There's places to go. There's restaurants. Any service industry you want, it's all right here. It's kind of like Ashley was saying, we're pretty, I mean, we even
self-sufficient over here
occasionally.
That's what I was going to say.
Side of town.
Yeah, and I think it's more about the type of people you want, because you do, I think Ashley, you said it perfectly. It's like that small town feeling with really anything that you could possibly want, I would think. I mean, anything I want. But it's, it's about, the relationships with the people, good people and people that are involved in the community and things of that nature. I think that is what sets Wylie apart from, anywhere else.
Yeah.
Well, and I kind of like that it takes 12 minutes to get to a highway. It is. That's part of what's so appealing. And then like the new parks that are coming up, like I love that the city invests back in the things that we use. And those of us that have young kids, like there's a new park that opened up, Pirate Park. And they're like, it's not 100% done, but go play on it. It's really exciting. And I love that about our city, that there's always something going on.
And you mentioned Pirate Park, Pirates Cove.
Cove, that's it. Yes.
It was that was originally built. Scott and Janie Williams, Scott and Judy Williams. Judy was one of the people who originally built that park with just a bunch of neighbors and volunteers. And Judy went out there. They brought the lumber, they brought the hammers, they brought the nails. And we were at dinner with them the other night, and Judy was talking about how emotional it was for her when they're going to take the park down that we built, but then they're going to put it back. And she was out there, and she said she got tears in her eyes because she was
awesome.
She was watching all ages. There was little bitty kids all the way through adults, and that park is 20 something years old. And the adults that were out there running and playing had grown up going to the park that she had helped build.
That's awesome.
You know, so there's just a lot of history and stuff like that there.
That's good. Well, let's wrap it up and let's go to break and come back for our last segment. And we'll go to break now. See you in a minute.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
I feel like we should have a dance. What's the difference? Okay, we're going to wrap it up, right? We're going to wrap it up today with what's the difference. I'm going to throw out a question, right? Get ready. Let's pick on a couple of people first. Let's pick on Scott first. Scott, I'm going to call out this question to you. I want you to answer first and we'll go around the room. What's the difference between setting strategic priorities and juggling multiple tasks?
Planning.
Oh.
Having a plan, planning your work and working your plan. Because if you've got strategic priorities, then you can set a calendar and then work on the things that are important. It's the tyranny of the urgent, where important things get pushed aside because urgent things come up.
Yes. So good. Ashley.
Can you repeat the question? I got thrown into it. I'm ready.
Okay.
What's
the difference between setting strategic priorities and juggling multiple tasks?
Well, I think the strategic priorities, they have to come first before you can juggle all of those task, like, I mean, our business it's a building block. So the most important things, like our clients are at the top of our business, because without them, I don't have classes to juggle. So it's about building those relationships with them too. That's one of our most important things that we do here.
That's so good. So I'm going to read the answer to you. Okay. Here's the official answer. Wikipedia, is that what we call it? Setting strategic priorities involves identifying and focusing on the most critical activities. That's exactly what you said, Ashley. That align with long-term objectives. Juggling multiple tasks often leads to spreading attention thin, potentially compromising the quality and impact of your work, which is exactly where Scott went. You got to have a plan. You have to implement the plan. Okay. Next question. Ready? We're going to go to Andrea on this one. What's the right? Get ready. What's the difference between leading with a vision and managing by objectives?
No, I mean, I think that, whenever you're leading with vision, you're seeing like the broader picture and like the end goal, what you're trying to build. You're trying to, I think that the thing that comes to mind is like trying to build leaders, that are still, again, within your vision of, your end goal of whatever you're trying to build. And then whenever I think goals, so like we're in sales and things of that nature. So I think of managing like, specific like daily activities and goals and stuff like that. So I would think that would be the difference.
That's awesome. Okay, Linda, your turn.
Building on the leader concept, I have seen the quote, "Be the leader who builds leaders who build leaders." And so I think that's real. That's like a vision. So if you hire the right people that are experts at what they do and allow them to do that, then you succeed. And so managing with objectives is important, but it becomes part of that, I believe. So you got to have the vision. You got to empower the people who work with you.
And help the other people to see your vision. So that way you're working towards the same.
But they help create that vision.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, here's the dictionary answer to the question. Leading with a vision involves inspiring others with a clear, compelling future direction, motivating them to work towards a shared goal. Managing by objectives focuses on achieving specific, measurable targets, often with a shorter time frame. I think you hit the nail on the head. That's amazing. Okay, last question, and we're going to start again with Scott. The last question, and we're going to do all four of you this time. What's the difference between innovating for the future and maintaining current success?
Well, sometimes maintaining current success is a very comfortable place to be because we know how to do that. But we live in a very innovative kind of world. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, used to be anything that you needed, you could build right there at home or on your farm or whatever. And things have innovated so quickly now. One of the examples that I heard was, if you were farming back at the turn of the century, you could build anything you needed. But now even basic tasks require you to use the mouse on your computer, and you can't build the mouse on your computer. You don't know how. Yeah. So if you decided that you were going to be that farmer in today's world, you could farm, but even farming has evolved. So, Kodak is still one of the best films made. It's just irrelevant. So if you don't innovate, you die.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. Linda.
I don't know if this is too ancient of an example, but Blockbuster, they didn't move forward and now they're gone. So you have to be able to move with the future, with speaking to nonprofits, if you're talking about branding and that sort of thing, you have to be able to know your audience. So you can't just stay the same. If you're either falling behind or moving forward, there is no staying the same. And if you stay the same, the vision never changes in front of you, right? If you're not the lead dog, the vision in front of you never changes.
So good. Yes, so good. Ashley.
Well, I think to stay like current in your market, you have to innovate things. You know, when small companies start, they start with, I've got my cell phone in my pocket and I've got my car and I drive around. But I mean, you have to innovate to where your people are now. Okay, I need a website. People don't want to talk to me on the phone. Young clients, they don't want to call you on the phone and talk to you. They want to get everything that they need behind a computer. And so you have to keep your stuff current there too. And it's just changing and growing. I mean, in our market, it's adapting to the science that comes out and making sure that you're staying relevant to those people. Or time is super important for people. They don't want to spend time with you they've got other things that they're doing. And so it's how can I give them everything they need with taking less amount of their time as well. Awesome. That's been really imperative for us.
Good. Yeah, human anatomy hasn't changed, but the American Heart Association, they find ways to change what you're supposed to do all the time.
Yeah, they sure do. Staying current with them.
Andrea, come on.
So for us, I mean, even like in our, business, like being 1% better every day is one of our core values. I am a huge believer. If you're not growing, you're going backwards. I feel like I say that every day. My team probably gets very tired of me saying that. But I mean, in all reality, like if you're not continuing forward, everybody else is just going to pass you up. Whether, it's technology or like you said, communicating, you have to know your audience and know, change how they change. And, so that way you can stay relevant, because those two examples, I mean, it's so true.
So good. Well, this has been a great show. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being on today. Any last comments from anybody? Scott, you want to share anything you want to end on?
Oh, I think we got some great guests on today. I am a big fan of Best Buddies. One of my great friends was Josh Boswell. He had muscular dystrophy, was in a chair for most of his life. And, just being blessed to be able to go over to his house sometimes in the morning and help get him up so his mom and dad could get a break. I mean, they both had back issues because, I mean, he lived to be 30, 35 maybe.
Awesome.
Which is a long time. And, he was a big guy, and just, so I love Best Buddies and what they do. And
well, I appreciate Best Buddies being here today. Thank you for that, Scott. And Ashley, thank you for being on. So glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. It was great.
Andrea and Scott, y'all are amazing. And y'all have a great week. And we'll see you in 2 more weeks for the Community Difference Wylie.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching today's show. The Community Difference Wylie is made possible by Scott Williams with Fireboss Realty, Vanessa Cole, owner of The Way Leadership, Janice Greenlee with Green Root Capital, Andrea Kincanon with the Kincanon Agency, Jacki Tobar with proven national title, Give me one and I'll earn the rest. The Community Difference Wylie, together, we can make the difference.